It's another Manly Monday, and this Manly Monday, we're talking about masculinity and homophobia. And this was inspired by a conversation I had with a client, but also because of this weird dust up in the House of Commons in Canada last week about engaging with diplomats in the bathtub. And Justin Trudeau sort of quipped that we're used to homophobia from the opposition. And this has created this whole debate among people who give a shit about this, about whether this is homophobic or not. And the bathtub comment. And I think this defeats the purpose of the discussion. One, it's a massive distraction from the issue at play. I'm not going to get into it because that would be a distraction here. But also, the Conservative Party of Canada has been running a murmurs and whispers and then ads on the NBC News app. Yes, the big liberal bastion of NBC News is taking money to run ads of Photoshop pictures of Tom Mulcair kissing Justin Trudeau. Obviously, they're fake photos that lead to a website. I didn't click it, and I can't prove it because the only place I've seen these ads is on the NBC mobile app, which disables screen sharing, screen grabs. So nice job, NBC, ya fucking hypocrites. Because the NBC out, and then they take money for shit like that. Bullshit, but I digress. The idea of the whisper campaign that Trudeau has slept with everyone from Zelensky to Tom Mulcair to a bunch of other politicians, every vaguely virile male politician that Trudeau is photographed with, some corner of the internet makes up a gay rumor about. And logically, this is totally irrelevant. Emotionally, this drives up negatives among men, primarily. Male voters, because male voters are more likely to vote conservative. Yes, there are some women who have homophobic biases where, oh, he's gay, therefore he's weak, therefore he's less of a man, therefore he's a less good prime minister. All of this is obviously nonsense, right? I have gay friends who could kick your butt. You know, the toughest people I know. And, you know, gay men of a certain age had to be tough because they were constantly having to fight. But there is this gay is less of a man. And this is why I argue that the what is a woman question, what is a man, is not similarly examined because any man knows that adult human male is not the correct answer. Man is as much something you do as something you are. Be a man. Guess what? Womanhood's the same way. But we take womanhood as this inherent state. You just have to exist to be a woman. Whereas men throughout history, and that's wrong, by the way, but men throughout history are expected to prove that they are men instead of just males all the fucking time, often to their detriment. And if you like this video, please donate to Eileen's aunt's crowdfund. Spider-Man shit, we can save our old lady's house. A couple people have quoted Spider-Man shit to me, and that's such a dude move, right? Instead of going like, oh, it's good and kind and shows compassion. I'm like, no, man, this is some Spider-Man shit, right? Because being nurturing and compassionate are not male virtues. Being Spider-Man, that's awesome. And I realized that growing up, I have absorbed a lot of toxic masculine messages. Yes, I own that. And so this whole idea of being a man and the ideal of being a straight man is even something, you know, we put up on a pedestal the fact that the ancient Greeks practiced homosexuality. They didn't consider it homosexuality. It was pederasty. But, they practiced it. And some people say, look, it was glorified there. No, 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 no. A man could not have sex with another man. The bottom had to be a slave or somebody not age of majority, not old enough to grow a beard. It was still shameful for men to be the bottom. That matters because this homophobia has trickled down, and it's this ingrained thing that can just drive men to do some really dumb shit so people don't think they're gay. It's not gay. It's not gay. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The Seinfeld episode, right? Growing up, that's gay was a stand-in for that's stupid. You can date my childhood based on that. Although, I heard that from some people my sister worked with not that many years ago, and I was stunned that people who teach dance were still saying that's gay to indicate that's stupid. You teach dance. Even odds, the little boys that come in there are going to identify with that already. It was just the most ignorant statement. But no, I know plenty of straight male dancers as well. And that's the thing. The only thing that being gay indicates about you is you are attracted physically to other men. For men, right? That's it. It doesn't indicate your interests. Though I think what happens with things like the love of Celine Dion and ABBA and Cher and the Golden Girls is that, okay, Celine Dion has a beautiful voice and she's recorded some schmaltz, but, things like the Golden Girls, objectively good show. Still sharp to this day. Like, edgy. Like, you cannot say that today, comedy. Quality fucking show. But because it's a show about women, only gay men will go, yeah, I like that show. Why? Because watching shows where women are centered is gay. Right? And so it's less about gay guys like the Golden Girls and ABBA. And gay men can admit to liking the Golden Girls and ABBA because both of those things are fucking quality. Fight me. And yeah, I fight for ABBA because as a kid, that was one of those ones like, this is going to sound weird because I was a pretty big grunge kid back then. I mean, this predates grunge, the Super Trooper album. But I remember seeing Super Trooper on, I think it was the Grammys or one of those award shows. And that song blew my fucking mind. Like, and this was before I knew about Weird Al and polka. But I'm like, I've never heard anything like this before. The complicated harmonies, the like polka rhythm, they were actually happy. They weren't at that time, but they were pretending to be for the performance. They were all miserable. That was shortly before they broke up. But I remember seeing this and going, this is amazing music. And then I forget which adult man in the room went, ABBA, that's gay, right? And they'd make fun of ABBA the same way they made fun of boy bands. Because men of a certain age, the minute you hit puberty, you had to start making fun of girl shit to prove you weren't gay. And this is fucking stupid. This is so stupid. Like, we have done great strides for gay men. However, we are still in this point where these signifiers are, I know, I have friends who are not gay, but they openly admit they like things like, and I shouldn't say admit, they openly say they like things like Disney princess movies and girl shows. And so people just assume they're gay, even though they're not. Like, they're definitely not. My gaydar is like, nothing. My gaydar is good. I said on Twitch last week, JD Vance has would be gay if not a Republican face. That tells you something about my gaydar, because you know it's true. Because all the gay guys in the chat went, yes, right? And what does that mean? It's just this thing. It's just vibes. And vibes are a second language for me. But that one is sort of like, yeah, you just get a vibe, you know? But it shouldn't be that way. And it is that way. Because it's like, on The Last of Us, it's like, okay, the living with the mom, maybe not so much, not definitive. And I forget the other thing he did. Oh yeah, he had good taste in like wine, but then it was like the Linda Ronstadt song sheets, like 3 out of 3, no man, clocked as gay. And that's the thing. You only get so many things before you have violated masculinity norms so much that probably gay. And when we think about it, we all know this, but this is fucked up, right? Like, it's one of these weird things in life, like not admitting you like Nickelback, or shitting on BTS, quality BTS. Like, there are just certain things that if you want to maintain certain cred, you have to eat like football and shit on BTS. Woe unto you that, angers the K-pop stans. But you know what I mean? There are these things. And when we think about it, they don't make any sense, because flip it around, right? I am seen as cool for liking Sabaton and Warhammer and video games and guy stuff, right? So if you like guy stuff, yeah, you're treated as weird by other women, but guys think you're cool. There's an increase in status. There's a decrease in status when guys like girl things. It's you're gay. And this is where homophobia intersects with misogyny, right? But here's the one weird trick thing, guys. Women, if you are heterosexual, really like it when you like what you like and don't get trapped by these things. When you are more interested in being authentic than you're interested in not seeming gay, women find this attractive. Example, Doctor Who. Amy thought Rory was gay for a really long time because he didn't show any interest in any girls because he liked Amy. And that is considered charming and romantic to women, right? It's kind of a chuckle for men. But for people who, it is true that the gay was always under the surface in Doctor Who. Sometimes it breached the surface. But, the fact that the idea that you don't have a roving eye makes you gay, this is, to women, this is a fucked up world, We need to challenge this stuff. Not just because it's better for everybody, because wrapped up in this is this idea that masculinity means doing stupid, risky shit, like physically risky, emotionally risky, psychologically risky, to prove you're a real man. And fuck that. When women say, the most attractive thing is a man who is himself, that is true. But part of being yourself is getting past that thing I get all the time, which is the combination of nerd checks about things I like to prove I'm a real nerd. Right? I don't get that anymore because now I'm fucking everywhere. Right? Like, I'm like the fucking flood of nerd now. I'm just these little critters everywhere into nerd. Right? I platinumed Elden Ring. I don't get nerd checked anymore. 300 hours of my life. Nerd. Right? But I used to get nerd checked. And then with women, you get the, ew, because some women are basic. And if a woman goes, ew, to your nerds, either she's trying to mess with you to see if you'll own it, instead of going, oh, I don't really like that. No, bullshit. You go, yeah, I love it. The same way, I think furries are awesome. And people look at me weird at first, and I get furries are rude. No, furries are awesome. I will not allow furry bashing on my watch. And now people send me a shit ton of opossum stuff, and, oh, Mortimer's all the way over here. Deranged opossum fall is a thing now. You see how it works? You have to own you're fucking weird. Because if you go so far into weird, then you're cool. Right? You know, my friend who likes Disney princess movies, he is cool. He is cool to so many women because he's just like, no, I love it. You have to own it and allow it to like overcome first contact and go, no, shut up. I like this. Right? And that is authenticity. And that will do you better than trying to cram yourself into this mold that doesn't really fit anyone. It's this unwritten, stupid bullshit expectation. And everybody is secretly tired of it, even as everybody kind of upholds it. And if people make jokes about something being gay, don't take it as an insult, right? Because just because certain things are gay. I mean, the thing about ABBA is that the gays love ABBA, yeah. But serious musicians also love ABBA. A lot of like metal bands and rock bands cite ABBA as amazing music. Because if you actually really break it down, like that ping their voices get, it's... oh my God, it's hard to do. Trust me, I've tried it. I was terrible at it. But like legitimate musicians appreciate that stuff. Legitimate comedians, like comedy, Golden Girls, fucking, oh my fucking God, there's so much good. You go back and watch I Love Lucy, same, right? There's just certain things that are good, no matter who does it. And that's why, you know, when you own it, when you own the stuff you like and don't apologize for liking it, not everyone will accept it, deranged opossum fall, but your people will. And that's really it, is if you want someone to like you for you, either as friends or romantically, you gotta be you. And spending your whole life afraid people are gonna think you're gay for liking something, you're not being authentic. And if we really drill down, I mean, there are jokes about football and those tight white pants. So the fact that football reads as not gay is weird. And that's when the whole thing comes crashing down. Like, yeah, the gay, not gay sorting really doesn't make any sense, right? You know, is watching Olympic swimming gay? Depends on what you watch for, right? So you gotta be strong enough within yourself and confident, quietly confident within yourself. And it's very hard for a lot of guys because they have, you know, histories of physical punishments for, you know, associated with this stuff. So it can be quite hard, or even ostracization or mockery that they didn't understand. And this is what, you know, groups like the Discord and that are here for. You're not going to be mocked for liking what you like on our server, right? And it's way more guys than women. So, you know, we have to dissect this continuum so we can dismantle it, because this stuff doesn't make any fucking sense. So if you like this video, and thanks to the commenter who inspired me to talk about this, If you like this video, link in the description box below. Donate to the crowdfund to save Eileen's aunt's house. We're doing well, you know, steady progress. We're getting there. If we keep this pace, we got 6 months. We will, well, probably more like 5 now, but we will save the house if we keep on this pace, and every little bit counts. Remember, the crowdfund is in pesos, so you gotta give at least 100 pesos for Patreon to accept it. Some people are like, I gave 30 and they wouldn't take it. Well, that's because it's like 100 pesos is like $5. There's a minimum donation on GoFundMe. So yeah, because after a certain point, the cost of the transaction is actually more than the money. So that's why if you tried to give it an amount, it's in pesos. So look up the converter to Mexican currency and figure out what you want to give. So thanks for watching Manly Mondays.